Are you ready?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. All right. So today is September 11th, 2024. It's approximately 12:25 p.m. We are now in court 5. In front of me, I have Eaton Imitum.
What jurisdiction is this case being tried on? That's what I'm trying to, because I kind of don't know what it's being tried on.
It's
Civil?
criminal, yeah. Right. You're facing jail time, right?
I believe so.
Weren't you taken to jail?
Yeah.
So that wouldn't lead you to believe it's criminal, right?
Yeah, but under common law, or is it military and tribune? Because also with
Oh, I've been waiting for something like this for so long. This is so much fun. Pine cones, it's not, I mean, really, we love sobs here, you know?
What was the name you said?
Sobs.
No.
Oh, it says here, Pine Cone says, sorry you had to deal with that guy. And I'm like, it's not a, really, we welcome it. It's not a big deal. I mean, it's our chance to educate, you know? I don't know where they get it from. That was certainly an interesting motion. To try to get something for 4-something million people.
The officer observed the defendant's vehicle parked at a location with the engine running. The defendant was going in and out of consciousness in the driver's seat with the keys in the ignition. The officer observed a 12-ounce Modelo beer in the center console, and the defendant admitted to drinking. The officer
Alcohol in the car while he's driving.
Officers observed the defendant also almost hit an 18-wheeler traveling to the defendant's right, and the defendant almost swerved into another passing vehicle. Officers observed the defendant's registration to be expired as of November 2020, and a traffic stop was initiated. The defendant came inches from hitting the freeway wall while exiting, and the officers made contact with the defendant, the driver, and sole occupant of the vehicle. Officers observed a strong odor of alcoholic beverage, glossy eyes, and slurred speech.
Good morning, Judge.
No, it's not. It's not. It most certainly is not. It's a morning. Good. I guess that's a matter of perspective. You tell me here in about 5 minutes if it's good. I'm making it a condition of your bond that you not participate in any more reckless driving, street takeovers, racing, and boneheaded moves of this nature. Otherwise, the first thing I'm going to do is I will take away your privilege to drive. All this because who wanted to speak a different language?
Said the defendant wanted to speak a different language, I believe, with the complaining witness.
I don't think I've heard something as silly as this in a long time.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're moving into the final minute before the show. I have a question for you. This is completely up to the people who are here right now to make the call. Do we do the soft sit first, or do we do the soft sit last? That's the question. That's all there is to it. We want to see Friday's docket first. Okay, we got a first. We got another first. Soft sit first. First. Everybody's saying the soft sit for the most part, so we're gonna probably, we can't do both at the same time. We're gonna do both. Both is definitely a for sure thing. The show's getting started, ladies and gentlemen. We're doing the soft sit first. Good morning. It is great to see everybody here. I've been looking forward to this pretty much all week. Since the 11th, at least. I mean, leave it to Judge Fleischer to give us a reason to actually appreciate the 11th for the first time in 24 years or so. I really liked what I saw of this. I didn't see all of it yet. So this is going to be my first time watching it all the way through. I edited it up and I still didn't get to see all of it. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's cut right to the chase. Check out Fleischer's soft sit case. Shall we?
All right, Judge, top of page 7.
All right, Mr. Emitum, come on up. Come on up, yeah. I need Lori to put this on there. Lori.
I know this actor, not like personally, but I am familiar. I'm familiar with this actor. Absolutely, absolutely. Actually, kind of a legendary actor.
Are you ready?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, all right. So today is September 11th, 2024. It's approximately 12:25 p.m. We are now in court 5. In front of me, I have Eaton Emitum, case number 2522688. Would you please identify yourself for purpose of the record?
Living man eats on Amazon.
Would you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? That you're going to tell the truth. That's it. Yes? Okay. State, would you identify?
Petrov on behalf of the state.
Okay, so the reason that we're putting this on the record now is Mr. Emitum has been charged with the offense of unlawful carrying of a weapon. The case is 40 days old. It appears that probable cause has already been found. I don't know if I did probable cause on this, or if I don't know if another judge did, because I don't remember Mr. Emitum, and I was out a week. Yeah, lollygagging. So let's just do it for.
On August 2nd, 2024, officers observed a car without a front license plate, changed lanes without a signal, and have expired registration as of March 2023. Upon approaching, officers smelled marijuana. PC search returned 4.17 grams and a loaded Smith & Wesson handgun. Additionally, there was a backpack with 3 checks that did not belong to him. Officer called Kumamoto, who said the checks were stolen from her restaurant on July 8th. When defendant broke the front window, went to the back where the checks were kept in the office, broke the hinge of the back door and exited.
So as a result, because of that, he was charged with felony fraud on that one,
That's
on the
correct.
check. Okay. Yes, he has an open case in the 182nd. Looks like he made a $15,000 bond. With us, I am going to find there's probable cause to go forward. Well, hold on a second. We'll get there. I'll let you say your piece, but do you have a Texas driver license?
I have a U.S. private property number with the FMCSA. What my vehicle was on there, it was sticker tags, everything with my business, the Amazon Estates. That's with the Department of Transportation.
Is that from the state of Texas or from where?
This is federal. This is with the Department of Transportation.
Okay, no, but you still need a Texas driver license and you need registration and
I did
on a
all my
vehicle.
best with them because it was private property that I had. They said I didn't, if I didn't need to get registration with the state of Texas because I registered it. And they said that would be my voluntary, but since it's private property, I wouldn't have to register it.
Okay. from what I know of the law, you need a Texas driver license to be able to drive.
This is, what jurisdiction is this case being tried on? That's what I'm trying to, because I'm kind of don't know what it's being tried on.
It's
Criminal, civil? Or-
criminal, yeah,
or
right?
is it-
You're facing jail time, right?
I believe so. But
Weren't you taken to jail?
yeah,
So that wouldn't lead you to believe it's criminal, right?
yeah, but under common law, or is it military and tribune? Because also with
Oh, I've
the,
been waiting for something like this for so long. This is so much fun.
I'm just trying to see on what I'm being tried on, because what I was told with the US side, I wouldn't have to register it with the state of Texas, with the registration or licensing. I do have my own place with that vehicle too as well, so.
You need a license to drive, a Texas driver license. That's it. You either have one or you don't. The federal government has regulated to the states through the Constitution that they have allowed the states on their own initiative to create laws regarding driving on highways and byways. So that's why you see every single state has different requirements for licensing, insurance, mode of transportation. The federal government has somewhat to do with it, but by and large, they have delegated to the states that they are their own entity with regard to creating laws in their specific highways. So that's why every single state has a different type of license, different type of insurance. Like the Texas driver license is what, white, versus Arkansas might be yellow or red, or Hawaii might be. So that's every single state has their own laws with regard. In Texas, you have to have a Texas driver license. You also have to have liability insurance as a minimum in the event that you get into an accident. Those are the two main requirements that you need to drive. If you're going to drive a vehicle, it also has to be registered so that they know that you're driving the vehicle and that you own it or have the right to have that, so it's not a stolen vehicle.
I own the vehicle and everything. When I was here the last hearing with the judge, like what he was saying, he said that when it had applied to me, but he was gonna see what they're gonna say about the other court, about the probable cause of stopping me, because he said registration when it had in the front license plate, when it had applied to me.
It does apply. It applies to everybody. Everybody has to have a back license plate. They also have to have a front license plate. And so much, they also tell you where it has to be on the car. They regulate, you can't put it in the windshield.
State, right?
State,
Yeah.
right. They tell you where it has to be. You can't put it on the windshield. You can't put it on, like on, what's it called? On the light. It's got to be right there. They even tell you how many centimeters it's supposed to be from the street to the actual place on the car. That's how bad the state of Texas micromanages all these things. They even tell you how many damn centimeters it's got to be on the car. So you have to have a front license plate. You got to have a license, got to have insurance. So if you don't have that, you can't drive. And that's it.
Yeah, I stated to him I was traveling. I wasn't arguing with him, but I was traveling. I wasn't making commerce. I used to do medical transportation, so I'm kind of aware with licensing and registration and everything. That's why with my private vehicles, I did that with the US DOT instead of the state. And I didn't know that was
Correct.
interference. They
You
said,
need a license. It doesn't matter whether you're saying you're conveying, whether you're traveling, whether you're, driving. It's a privilege. It's not a right, right? There's a big difference between a privilege versus a right. You have the right to
I
walk.
have the right to travel, don't I?
Yeah, taking your happy-go-lucky feet. You want to travel,
That's
take
me.
those 2 feet to travel, not in a car.
Just what the 14th Amendment was saying, like I have the right to travel.
You do. Yes, and you can walk your happy ass from one part to the other part. Not in a car, though. Not without a license and insurance.
Was on there from what I did this with the Department of Transportation. They said automobiles were on there, carrier,
wrong.
bicycles.
They're wrong. I'm just telling you now, they're wrong. Whoever told you that, whoever, where you got that,
Agency.
it's complete. Because imagine this, Mr. Emmett, and I've seen this before. Imagine that you get into an accident, right? And you kill a 5-year-old kid. What's going to happen at that point? Whoever owns that car, the other people, they're going to come after you. They're not going to go after they're going to come after you. The first thing they're going to do is, do you have insurance? And if you don't have insurance, they're going to sue you. And then they're going to attach a lien on absolutely everything that you own to satisfy the judgment they get against you. And they will take your house, they will take your car, they will take your bank account, they will attach to where if you ever want to start working and get a paycheck, they're going to garnish all that money. You have insurance, liability insurance, so that if you ever get into an accident, you don't mean to do it. You didn't mean to kill the kid. It's not an purposement. It's an accident. And accidents happen. You might be looking at your phone, you're looking at, this pretty girl that's walking across the street, and then boom, you have insurance so that if that happens, the insurance company will pay on your behalf so you don't have to pay out of your own pocket. And they will even give you a lawyer to represent you on your behalf, because that's what you pay for when you get insurance. If you get into an accident, lawyers usually call you and say, hey man, tell me what happened. Was it your fault? Or was it the other people's fault? Because we want to know who to pay. And that's why for $30 to $40 a month, you get insurance for that very purpose. And I've seen people come here, they have killed someone and they get a $250,000 judgment against them. I've seen it. And God, you'll never dig yourself out of that. So the conveying, the this, that, you need a license. You've got to have insurance. And we do it with every single person that comes here.
Can I say for the unlawful carry, the possession of marijuana, the person that was in the vehicle told the officer it was legal hemp that they got from the store. They have receipts and everything in Texas. You can have legal hemp. They got it from the store. Even told the officer it was theirs. He pulled me out the car. He didn't ask for any paperwork.
Now you're making apples and oranges, right? Now we got to test it. Is it weed?
Oh yeah,
Is it hemp?
That's it.
Understand that takes time, but you also need a lawyer to represent you.
I found my own discovery. I was representing myself pro se.
And you can do that if you want.
Yeah.
But we have to go through a series of questions.
I represented myself plenty of times. I had dismissals here from Harris County.
And for purposes of the record, so Mr. Emitom had a case with me here. It was actually June 7th of 2022. He was charged with another gun case. And that was with Victoriano. God, that was a great DA too. And I found no probable cause in that case, right? So you didn't represent yourself in that case. I found no probable cause and they dismissed it. They didn't have to dismiss it, but they did dismiss it. So other than that case, have you ever represented yourself?
Yeah, many times. I have dismissals all through here from Harris County. Traffic violations.
You're welcome to do it, and who's one of the worst, who's one of the best presidents that in history that you can think about right now?
Wonderful to me right now.
You can't think of one good president that we've ever had?
I don't know any.
Abraham Lincoln, he wasn't good?
I never met him. I don't know about him at that time.
Abraham Lincoln said something. He goes, you know what? He who represents himself has a fool for a client. That's what he said. Meaning that when you represent yourself, there is an inherent conflict and there's an inherent bias, and you may not be able to see things objectively, meaning that you have your heart, you've got your soul into this case. So you may not be able to see from an outside position if they're saying something that makes sense. You're absolutely entitled to represent yourself. And if you want to do that, you're more than welcome to it. And I have no problem with you doing it. You need to understand though, if you represent yourself, you can't come at a later day and say, you know what? I had ineffective assistance of counsel. My lawyer sucked. Well, you represented yourself. You now can't complain about that. If you go to trial and you lose and I end up putting your butt in jail for a year, you can't complain. You're stuck like Chuck for a whole year because that's what you're facing. You're facing a year in jail and you got a bunch of other documents too that, so
My discovery from that last month that I
well,
filed.
let's do the question. So what is your full name?
Eton, Chizuroke, Amaton.
Okay. How old are you?
I'm 34.
Where were you born?
In America.
Were you born here in Houston? Were you born in, okay. You read and write English, right? Okay. Do you have any learning disabilities or communication handicaps? Have you ever been declared mentally incompetent or treated for any mental health disorder? Okay. You said last time I asked you about your educational background, you graduated from high school.
Graduated high school, some college,
How far did you get in college?
2.5 years.
Did you do any legal courses whatsoever?
Left that and I started doing medical transportation. I was taking classes for paramedics. I was just doing my basics. I was doing my basics.
Studying in college.
I was just doing my basics. I ain't getting into it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. And when you're beginning, that's all you do anyways, right? Do you have any legal training, education, or experience?
Experience with dealing with the court being charged before.
And any other legal? Do you know about the Code of Criminal Procedure?
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Do you know about the Texas Penal Code?
I'm familiar, but I'm not too familiar with a lot of statutes and codes.
Were you here for our earlier trial?
No, I went up.
I know you went to the felony court, but we were in trial earlier. Did you see what happened in trial earlier?
I had like a glimpse of it walking.
Okay. What I'm trying to say is that the lawyers on both sides had to introduce evidence. There's a specific procedure that you have to follow to have evidence admitted. It's detailed in the codes. You have to know that, because once you represent yourself, I'm going to treat you as if you were a lawyer. I will hold you to the same standard. And I'm not here to put you through law school because I have way too much drama as it is. I don't need any more drama, right? So if you don't do it the right way, I'm going to shut you down, right? I like to be nice to people, but I'm not taking you to school. Do you understand this? Do you understand the charges against you?
No, I don't understand the nature of it.
Okay, you're charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. You're facing up to a year in jail. What they're saying is that you unlawfully had a weapon. As a result, you were charged, and now you're facing up to a year. Do you understand?
Yeah, what they're telling me, but I still don't understand like why I went to jail for that. So that's why.
What do you not understand?
The court procedures, or
No. I'm asking about the nature of the charges. No, it's not. Don't talk about the procedures. Don't talk about the licensing, about the conveying.
Yeah, I know
No,
I'm getting charged for unlawful carry. And
right.
The
Do you understand that?
yeah, what's going on?
Okay. You have the right, or you understand the range of punishment that you're facing a year, correct?
That's what I've been told.
Okay. You have the right to court-appointed counsel. Do you want counsel to represent you?
I don't want legal advice. I don't need a legal team. I just want law.
If I offer you a lawyer now, would you want it? You really don't want a lawyer?
I represent myself. I could get none more by myself than anyone representing me.
Okay. Do you understand that you will not be able to claim ineffective assistance counsel if you lose at a later time, whether it's in trial, whether it's in a hearing, whether anything? Do you understand that? What that means is that you cannot appeal this thing. If you're found guilty and you go to jail, you know, a lot of lawyers or a lot of defendants like to claim, sorry guys, I'll be 2 minutes. A lot of lawyers, a lot of defendants like to blame their lawyers for screwing up. And they say, hey man, my lawyer messed up. I can tell you, like, that's the number one thing that defendants complain about. And probably, I don't know this for sure, but I would suspect probably the number one reason why cases are overturned because of ineffective assistance of counsel, meaning that a lawyer, for one reason or other, messed up so bad that their cases have to be redone. You cannot complain about that at a later time.
I've seen that many times. That's why I'm representing myself.
But you can't, if you mess up, you cannot appeal this thing. Do you understand? Once, and if you are found guilty, that's it. Do you understand? You also have to comply with the same appellate procedures if you lose, meaning that if you want to appeal for one reason or the other, you have to understand the guidelines and the timing, and you have to comply with those rules as well. Do you understand?
Mhm.
You will not be granted any special consideration because of your lack of formal training. Do you understand this? You may fail to properly raise points of error in the trial record if we go to trial. Meaning that if we go to trial and you object to something, because that's you hear that a lot, right? I object. This shouldn't be in there. You have to object properly. You can't just say object. There has to be more to it. You have to state the reason for the objection. It has to be a legal reason. You can't just say, I object, and expect me to hold something out. You have to give the legal reason. And there's a proper method that you have to state and ask me to do things for it to be recognized on appeal. And if you don't know this, you cannot at a later date complain. Well, I didn't know that. You understand? You still don't want a lawyer. I will give you a free lawyer. Is this voluntarily, knowingly, and intelligently made? No one's forcing you to do this. Okay. Knowing all this, are you sure that you still want to represent yourself? I got to tell you, I think that you look like a great guy. You look like you're upstanding. I have no problems that you represent yourself. Understand that you need to be careful what you tell them, though. Everything that you say, even if you think you're hurting yourself by admitting one thing or the other, you could be hindering your case, meaning hurting your case, even if you think you're helping yourself. Do you understand? I'll make you a deal. If at any time you want a lawyer, all you got to do is ask and I'll give you one. Really. If you ever feel like you're under the gun, that you feel like someone's taking advantage of you, I'm happy to give you a lawyer at any time. I want you to understand now, as a condition of your bond, though, I'm ordering you not to drive until you have a Texas driver license and a liability insurance. I'm ordering you not to drive. And I'm going to have you sign with me today an affidavit promising me you're not going to drive. If I find that you drive, I'm going to put you in jail. Do you understand?
I have personal.
Okay. You are not allowed to get into the driver's seat of a car and drive, convey, travel, however you want to term it. You cannot do that. And if I find that you do that, I'm going to put you in jail and I'm going to make your bond so high, your head's going to spontaneously combust. Do you understand?
That way from my rights to anything? Or
no, but I'm telling you that you can't drive, convey, get into the driver's seat of a car. If you do, you're going to go to jail because I will revoke your bond. Do you understand? The only conditions I'm putting on you now are 3. No weapons, no picking up new cases, and don't get into the driver's seat of a car and drive, convey, travel. Are there any other adjectives that you can think of?
I'm sure there are, but
I guess I'll put etc. so that it tries to cover any type of wording, so to speak. All right. So, Mr. Ematom, I'm going to find that you are okay to represent yourself. We need you to sign a form that you're going to do that.
Even if I don't consent to any of these charges, because I do have my paperwork, I do have.
If you don't consent, just go. If you don't think we have jurisdiction, look, if I didn't think anyone had jurisdiction over me, do you think I would be here? If I was in your shoes? Hell no, man. If I didn't think that someone didn't have jurisdiction over me to be anywhere, I'm not going there. I'm not going to get out, take a shower, put my clothes on, because I like to be naked, right? You know, I'm not doing anything like that, you know? So if you don't think we have it, just go. Otherwise, you're here. You know we do, right? Because if you...
I don't know. That's why I filed.
Let me ask you this. If you just took off now, what would happen? There you go. What does that warrant mean? What does it mean?
On, or what do you mean as far as like the warrant?
As far as jurisdiction is concerned, do you think that, look, do you think that an officer is going to go out and actually pick someone up if they didn't think they had jurisdiction to do it? Do you know how much trouble they would get in Do you know if Stephen went out there and arrested someone now just for shits and giggles, do you know how much trouble he would get in? Right? If he had no reason to do it, do you know how much trouble he would get in? Right, a lot. He'd lose his job. He'd probably get sued. Right? Can't claim immunity. He'd be toast, Swiss cheese. So that's what I'm saying. If you didn't really think that we didn't have jurisdiction, then go.
But I had to take care of this matter because. if it
Because
was-
you know we have jurisdiction.
I don't know, because I was gonna go to 515 Rusk and file my lawsuit, my civil lawsuit with the officer who did arrest me because they did some unlawful, unconstitutional things that they did to me at that time. So I was gonna take it there, you know. I didn't believe they had jurisdiction over me.
I would wait to see how this case goes first before you do that. You know, see how the case goes first before you start jumping the gun.
Like, that's what I was waiting.
You know, but ultimately, you know, if I didn't think anyone had jurisdiction over me, I'm not going to go there, man. I have enough important things to do in my life as it is. I mean, you've been sitting here since 8:30 in the morning, where it's now nearly 1 o'clock. You know what I mean? Really. Let's get this thing done. That way you can move on with your life. We can move on with our life and just everybody be happy. That's what it's about. All we want to do is protect our city. That's all we want to do, you know, and I'm going to do it at all costs. That's it. All right. I'm going to have you sign this affidavit. After that, we'll get you out of here. And so, Mr. Emitam, you are going to have to make a plan to meet with Mr. Petrov here so that you guys can exchange evidence. He is our chief DA here. He's the one who gets all the evidence. He's the one that's going to present it to you. You can either do it here in court with us, or you can meet with them at their office, because you're going to have to get the evidence to look at it regardless. I'm happy to take any motions that you have now, and I can look at them, and then we can come back at a later date and I can roll on it for you. I see that you have a bunch of papers. I'm happy to take anything that you have and I'll take a look over it. You know,
The clerk, last month. Motion of
do you
discovery.
see anything?
Hey, I have the copy.
Which clerk did you file it with?
I have it right here, the copy. It was with Marilyn Burgess.
Is that for us? It's your clerk, right?
That's the district.
We would still get it then, right, or no?
Yeah, and the system is then filed that last month.
You filed it under this case number or the felony court case number?
No, I filed it for this one on August 9th. I have this case number on here, 2522688.
Yeah, that's it. I don't know. I don't see anything. Oh, wait a second. I see a motion for discovery. Is that it? It's a motion for discovery?
Yes,
Is that the only one that you've done?
so far.
Okay. I have to talk to officers and back. If you give me 5 minutes, let me take a look at it. And then I'm going to give you a copy so that you can look at it as well. Let me print it out. Pavel, I'm printing it out for you. If you want to just take a look at it real quick.
You done with them right now, Your Honor?
No, I need him to swear to this, please.
Okay.
Okay. Let me just go back there real quick. You should have, will you take a look and tell me if you can agree with it or not?
Sure, Judge. I'll take a look at it.
What's the other one? The other one. Judge, did we have bond conditions? Because we stopped to get them.
I just did the no driving affidavit. That's it. All right, come up, Mr. Emitam. Let's go back. Can we go back on the record?
Going back on the record.
All right, Mr. Emitam, I've gotten your motion. Have you read it?
Yes, Your Honor, I've read through it.
And
Your Honor, at this time, the state wouldn't even be able to comply with this order because it's asking for an immediate order of discovery. It sounds like spontaneously I need to give
well, other than
the
that,
opposing party.
I mean, and
There needs to be
is he
timing
asked,
requirements. And it's not, the language is not aligned with criminal procedure or penal code. But beyond that, the only two pieces that are requested that are reasonable, that I can produce with a timeline, are 1 and 7.
So, Mr. Emitom, understand that you will get discovery, but sometimes it takes time. It's not immediate. It takes time to build a case, to get videos, 911 calls, reports from officers. It takes time. It's not immediate. In your motion, I guess it says he wants it immediate.
Immediate order
There's
of
just no way. We can't.
an inspection, yeah.
But we will get it to you as he gets it, he will give it to you. I can grant you the order. I will take off the immediate provision, but I can grant you everything that you want. I'll give you their case file. I can give it to you when they get it.
Yes, but Judge, this discovery order is requesting things outside of the scope of discovery,
Well, I'm not going to give him the kitchen sink. I mean, like what?
everything else. I mean, so 1 and 7 are aligned. 1 is requesting any documents, papers, books, accounts, letters, photographs, videos, which are body cam, objects or tangible things not privileged which constitute or contain evidence. Of course, I'm gonna hand that over.
Okay.
2, any and all names of any witnesses, the Harris County Superior Court, State of Texas.
I mean, that's
County of
so
Harris,
Broad, Mr.
And
Emmett.
or any political.
I mean, you want every
subdivisions.
single witness in Harris County? That's what that's asking for.
You have to properly represent myself with the case.
That's 4.2 million people. Really? Really?
So that doesn't,
I mean, I'm not going to grant that. That's silly.
it's too
You want-
broad, it doesn't go into the scope of
Imagine
discovery.
any and all names of any witness for the Harris County Superior Court, State of Texas, County of Harris, or any political subdivision thereof may have. That's so broad that to even try to comply with that would take years. That's, I mean, in relation to this case, yes, nothing else. Nothing else matters. The only thing that matters is this case and nothing else. So I'm happy to comply with the names of witnesses in this particular case. Yes, I will do that. And I can mark on there for this case only. Are you okay with that?
Your Honor,
Yeah, only,
in the event that you were to grant something like that, it would need to be filed by the defendant. What you're granting is what is written, not what is subsequently modified.
Okay, so I
So,
guess
The language just needs to
I'll
be
just, okay,
corrected.
so what I'm going to tell you is, you're right, Well, I mean, right.
So I just wanted to clarify that for the
You're
record.
representing yourself. I can't do the work for you, right? He so kindly is reminding me that because I'm trying to, right. So that's too broad.
We can go down the list if you wish, but.
Yeah, let's do it. I mean, we have.
So 3, a true and complete original or certified alleged contract with wet ink signatures between the petitioner, the Harris County Superior Court, State of Texas, and or political subdivisions thereof may have law states that in order for the Harris County, and he's not, it's not even citing law, valid lawful contract between the petitioner, let them bring it forward for petitioner's inspection or immediately dismiss all charges. I believe this is going into UCC. This is not.
I mean,
UCC
here you're going
contract.
into the sovereign citizen type language.
just common law.
Okay.
So, Your Honor,
Yeah,
I will not be agreeing
doesn't
to
apply
that.
here. There's no, I mean, you're saying a true and complete original and or certified copy of the alleged is not even spelled correctly, contract with wet ink signatures between the petitioner and the Harris County Superior Court. I mean,
So I'm opposed to that.
what contract?
Contract complaint, whatever. I know this is statutory and it's not going over common law, so I'm not familiar with the statutes like I explained before.
Well, you're a lawyer now. You're gonna have to familiar yourself with it.
You're trying me on statutes. I want to be tried on common law.
You're gonna have to do it. I'm not sure, there's no common law here. It's,
Interesting.
everything's done by statute. There's no common law here. It's all done by statute. And since you're the lawyer, you need to know that.
I recognize the steps of the statutory steps. That's why I don't recognize.
So
being
how,
tried in
let
jurisdiction.
me ask you this. How on earth are you going to represent yourself if you don't even know that?
Once I get everything I need in my discovery,
He's not no, he's going to give you body cams. He's going to give you 911 call. He's going to give you witness lists. And that's it. Right? Is there anything else that would be in here?
going down the list.
I would, so there may be dash cam I need to check. So I haven't gotten the body cam or dash cam yet. I need to check what all this.
Mr. Emmett Tom, I mean, let's get real. If you're having problems with things of this very elementary nature, how are you going to represent yourself? I'm happy to give you a lawyer. You know, but some things are just, I mean, there's no,
We must conclude this hearing with the remainder of the list as well, and then we can go with,
hold on, just so he knows. So number 4, a true and complete original and or certified copies of the criminal record of the attorneys of record, judge, magistrate, pro tem, commissioners, witnesses, as well as all officers of this court. Yeah,
that is opposed.
that doesn't apply here, really. I mean, you don't, my criminal history, you think I have criminal history?
Do I need to ask to go to a higher court or a higher court look at this matter, or?
I mean, you certainly can. You can do anything you want to in life until someone says no, right? But I don't know where you're going to get. I mean, appellate courts need jobs too. How far are you going to get? I don't know. How much money are you going to waste? I don't know. A true and complete certified copy of all oaths, commissions, as well as bonds of all officers of the court, including but not limited to deputies, court clerks, judges, magistrates, pro tems, commissioners that have or may decide to involve themselves in this matter, appointed or elected, signed under penalty or perjury on and for the official public record.
State is opposed.
Well, I don't know what bonds you're talking about. What bonds? Like James bonds?
Bonds, bid bonds,
Which ones?
appearance bond, bid bonds.
I'm not familiar with that.
Stuff for that.
Political affiliation of any and all states, witnesses, and all officers of the court. So I can't.
State is opposed.
I mean, I really. Any evidence which in any way is exculpatory to the case? Yes.
Anything in state's possession, I'm unopposed to. I will produce anything exculpatory that's in our possession, but regarding the case.
Number 8, documented proof of claim of injury signed under penalties of perjury with all immunities waived from the judges of this court, attorneys of record, the Harris County Superior Court, State of Texas, County of Harris, as well as this court, and for the official record. Documented proof of claim of injury signed under penalties of perjury. So what are you referring to there?
Or the opposing party who made the complaint
What?
against me, whoever made the complaint against me, who's the opposing party.
Okay, well, the Harris County District Attorney's Office.
Party they have the complaint, who's the, I don't recognize who that is.
What do you mean you don't recognize?
Said the state of Texas or Harris County's, what was that?
Right, so they alleged that you did something unlawful. As a result, the officer arrested you and then brought that information all to the Harris County District Attorney's Office. And then they, in a two-pronged matter, number 1, I found probable cause in this case, and then a grand jury indicted you on your felony case. So it's the Harris County.
I haven't been indicted on that. I just came from upstairs. I haven't been indicted on that case yet.
Has it been indicted or no? Well, I mean, they have, I think, up to 180 days to indict you, but
Correct. Has not been done.
not been indicted yet, okay. I mean, I guess, would it be the information is that he's asking for? That you want the charging instrument, I guess, is what you want.
Your Honor, again, I think it's just a
I know that it's,
textual misunderstanding, but if it were rephrased correctly, I can better understand what is being asked. And therefore, that's why I cannot agree to this order, because
I get it, but I'm
It
trying to
just
go through it with him so that he
doesn't align.
understands.
if it
He's
aligns
asking.
with if it aligns with something I can understand, sure. I mean, I can understand what's being asked and then I can turn it over, but I don't have that. This is not that.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff here, you know, I'm,
Yeah, I don't know what's not being understood mostly. Like,
here, let's go through number 13, just because there's a lot here that you got 16 and it's already 130. The CUSIP number tied to this case, which will show that this court and or officers of the court are profiting off this case, and it is trading on the stock market on and for the official public record.
I mean, I am the trustee for the name Eton Ematon. Birth certificate's right here. Administrator, I'm the beneficiary for their name. I've been the trustee. I have all my paperwork that I need to prove to the court. I mean,
And
that's
that
why
may
I'm
well be
trying
good
to-
for federal stuff, but not for us. This is state.
I'm familiar with a lot of statutes, so yeah.
A copy of all officers of the court registration report and profile, which is registered under Dunn and Bradstreet on and for the official public record. Yeah, you're gonna have to go through this motion more. It needs to be more specific. I'm, you know,
Point just for the record's purposes, to say as opposed to this motion in its entirety at this time.
so not 1 and 7 then.
Not with immediate, not that language.
Oh, right,
And we cannot
okay.
modify that.
So it needs to be more specific. You need to have a more like realistic guideline. They can't give you stuff immediate because he may not even have it in his possession. So I can't order him to give you something that he doesn't have in his possession.
How soon can they get next trial date? I mean, my next court date, will they have it, or how soon?
I don't even know. I mean,
Body cam and dash, I can escalate that by the next court date. The lab, I am unsure of a timeline at this time, the lab of the
Marijuana.
substance.
okay. And I'm
So-
going to tell you now, it takes a lot. It takes quite a while to get labs done because, I mean, you imagine we live in a city with 4 million people. Do you know how many people get arrested with alleged illegal substances that have to be tested? You get in line in front of everybody
I
else.
do have the lab results from the store that I got it from. I have the store that is in the lab result papers that they got it from in Houston, so I could submit that as well if it makes it quicker.
I mean,
I know y'all still have to do your
I know
own.
that you're saying that, but remember, there's always two sides to the story.
True.
So they need to test what they have to see what that is. And it's going to take a while, but it'll get done. You just be patient, but it'll get done.
At this point, we are pending body cam dash in the lab. That is what
Okay.
discovery is pending.
Typically what we do is we'll set it out 30 days and then we'll just have you come back. And when you come back in 30 days, we'll see where they are. And then at that time, you guys can make a plan to go over the evidence. And you're not going to give him a copy though. He's just going to have to review it.
I believe it's subject to inspection.
Right. So you're going to have to come, bring a computer.
USB.
It's not through VHS, it's through,
I'm unaware. I'll familiarize myself more before the next court date of the transfer of.
you're going to probably need to bring yourself a computer that has a CD-ROM because usually they have stuff on CD-ROM drives or on CDs so that you're going to have to be able to look at it. Any kind of dash cam, any kind of body cam, they usually put it on a CD-ROM or on a CD for you to be able to look at it. The only other thing I need you to do is I need you to swear to us that you're not going to drive. I am making it a condition of your bond.
I hold that until.
No.
But all some stuff in my paperwork. I don't drive. I
No.
don't go by
No.
driver's license.
No.
I have my passport that I do go by.
Nope. I need you to do it now. Okay, I need you to do it. And I'm making it a condition of your bond that you sign the document that you're not going to drive,
I don't want to
convey.
contract or consent to anything or agreement to anything like that because I'm still trying to see
I'm going to revoke your bond. If you don't sign it, I'm going to revoke your bond. That's it.
I gotta be forced to sign that. If I don't sign it, I can't have the option to take that
Oh,
paper.
no, I'm not, you don't have to sign it, but I'm going to revoke your bond.
But in what matter of that?
Sorry,
I don't understand why my bond will get revoked because of that.
because I am ordering you as a condition of your bond, not to drive, convey, travel, any way you want to put it, behind the wheel of a car in Harris County, Texas, unless you are properly licensed with a Texas driver license and liability insurance in your name.
And I did it on my cars. I go by my US passport now. I don't go by my Texas driver license. I don't go by licensing anymore. Not commercial.
Nevertheless, I'm having you sign a document that you understand and that you promise that you're not going to do it.
I don't understand it fully, but that's why.
If you don't, that's okay, but I am going to revoke your bond. And that's it. Correct.
Being forced to sign this right now, or it's like, because
You don't have to sign it. You know the consequence. You're hearing it now. If you've never heard it before, you're hearing it now for the entirety of the case.
I mean, I could get my driver's license.
If you do, if you get your driver's license and show me that you have,
I'm not a commercial driver. I don't engage in commerce. I don't do.
do you
anything.
think that the 5-year-old kid that gets hit and killed in a car, or the 69-year-old grandmother that ends up paralyzed from an accident, cares whether you were conveying, whether you were in commerce, non-commerce? Injuries don't care whether you're conveying, whether you're traveling. Accidents happen whether you're conveying, whether you're driving, whether you're traveling. That doesn't care, right? When you get into an accident, it doesn't matter in what method you're doing it. An accident is just that. And if you have an accident, I want to make sure that the other party will be taken care of. I'm only asking you to follow the law. I'm not asking you to split the atom here. Great.
Break the law or any of that, but
Great.
I don't
I'm
engage
asking you
in
to sign this. If you don't have to, but I'm going to revoke your bond. That's it. And Mr. Emeton, if you get a Texas driver's license and you get insurance, I won't take this deal off.
That's what I believe in, and that's believe the Constitution. I don't, was it
That's okay.
they trying to apply that I need to get a license and insurance when I used to be a commercial driver for this state. I don't commercial drive anymore. I don't do medical transportation. I'm just a.
Did you hear what I said about an accident, about whether you're
I
conveying or
understand
traveling?
exactly what you mean about the accident.
Okay,
I know if I was to get on the accident road with no insurance, I could get sued and there'll be a civil matter and I go to jail. I understand that. That's why I travel very cautious. I don't.
you just said I drive.
I'm saying I
I
travel
drive.
very
You
cautious.
said the magic words.
I was a driver.
Come on, don't be Helen Keller. Come on. And I'm trying to protect all of Harris County.
I'm not an
You're
engineer.
protecting you. I'm protecting all the 4.2 million people here. That's what I'm doing. Because if you get into an accident, I know that you're not going to be out a dime out of your pocket. But all those other people, they're going to be out a crap load of money. And I'm going to do everything in my power to protect every single person of Harris County. And I don't care if I offend you. I don't care if I make you mad. I don't care if your sensibilities are upset. Don't care. I don't. All I want is every person protected. And that's it. And I'm doing what the law requires. I'm not asking you to do anything that's not outside the law. And you, as acting as a lawyer, should be able to look it up and see, because it's all in the transportation code. So you can sign it. If you don't, I'll have you meet with Stephen. That's it.
I just want my rights reserved.
They're reserved.
I'm waiving my rights to the court.
No.
Signing that's waiving my rights. It's a contract. It's me.
What right are you waiving?
My right to travel. That's infringing my right to travel with the Constitution.
No,
I wanna protect
no.
the rights of
Take the
14
Dodge Patas.
14th, I don't know what that means.
Happy trails. Use your feet. You can travel with your feet.
I can, but I live in Austin. I don't live out here in Houston.
Take a bus. Take an Uber. But I want to make sure if you're caught driving, I'm going to put you in jail and I'm going to make your bond so high you will spontaneously combust, because I want you to understand that I mean business and I'm protecting every single person I can. And that's it.
forcing me to sign this right now.
No, no,
Ready to meet with jail or arrest if I don't sign this. Right now.
correct. That is correct.
I'm in
That's correct.
imprisonment if I don't sign this. This is on the record.
It's on a record. I have a reporter right here and it's on video. Can you file the bond conditions as well? No driving without a license, please.
This is it right here.
That, and I'm gonna have them file it just in, so I can give you a copy as well. Okay. Mr. Emitom. So we're gonna make you a copy and then you can go on your way. Just be careful. You made a copy.
That's a copy of it.
Okay, just be careful. Don't pick up any new cases. Get a license, get the insurance, come back, and then we'll let you drive, okay? All right, bud. It's still good enough for me. So I'm gonna put here, you swore him to this, right?
No. I just need the copy.
Come on, Melissa.
Judge, you want to go over the docket?
Yeah, come on.
Hey, Judge, that was it.
That's it. All right, guys. Yeah, sorry, one more. Hey, I want you to know that even though you signed this, is that an E? Are you still on the record? Can you go on real quick? Just real quick. Okay, so we're back on the record in 2522688. I had Mr. Emitom sign an affidavit promising us he's not going to drive, travel, convey in a car. And he signed it as, it says EC, is that right?
ECE.
ECE / all rights reserved, UCC 1-103. Is that your signature?
Yes.
Okay, I'm still gonna hold you to this if I find that you drive. And I'm gonna tell you now, you will end up going to jail. Do you understand?
Yes, I just want to reserve my rights. That's all.
Understand, I'm gonna hold you to it if I catch you driving. It's gonna go sideways real quick. Okay, good. All right.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear that you will not drive any motor vehicle without the court approval? Yes. Okay.
Done. Done. Have a great day, guys. Thank you for being patient. Pine cones, it's not, I mean, really, we love sobs here, you know,
What was the name you said?
sobs.
No.
Oh, it says here, pine cone says, sorry, you had to deal with the, that guy. And I'm like, it's not a,
Is
really,
that
we
right?
welcome them. It's not a big deal. I mean, it's our chance to educate, you know? I don't know where they get it from. That was certainly an interesting motion
You
to
know,
try to get something for 4-something million people.
I wonder if that's Michael, because I call Michael Pinecone sometimes.
Oh, really? No. Oh, you think it could be? Let's see. Is Michael here? Yeah. All right, guys, we're running late here. We love you. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful afternoon and we'll see you tomorrow morning.
All right, we're not going anywhere. Stay where you are. I've got to get the next video queued up. That was hilarious, though. Oh my God, I could not stop laughing. That was way more funny. I missed a lot more of that than I thought I did. I got busy during that day. All right, so we're going on to Fleischer Friday. These are select cuts. This is curated content, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do it.
All right, Judge, page 6,
No weapons.
Figaro, come on up. Luis?
Yeah, sure. What was the last one?
Figaro.
Good morning, Mr. Figaro. Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you can afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
On September 8th, 2024, the officer was contacted by a witness who advised he observed the male sleeping in his truck at North Wayside Drive and East Freeway in Harris County, Texas. The officer observed defendant's vehicle parked at the location with the engine running. The defendant was going in and out of consciousness in the driver's seat with the keys in the ignition. The officer observed a 12-ounce Modelo beer in center console, and the defendant admitted to drinking. The officer
Alcohol in the car while he's driving.
Yes, Your Honor. And the officer observed poor balance, slurred speech, glossy eyes. Standard field sobriety tests were administered. HGN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 5 out of 8, and one leg stand 3 out of 4. Defendant was read DIC and refused breath. Blood search warrant was obtained and executed. Defendant was identified with his Texas driver's license.
Can you crack the eyes?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Figaro, I want you to understand that I'm going to do everything in my power to protect this city. If you don't believe me, ask Yasha. I put one of his clients in jail yesterday. And as unhappy as they were about it, I don't give a rat's behind. I don't care if I offend you, if I offend all of America because I don't coddle. You're so naughty. I don't care. You have alcohol in the car allegedly while driving. I am now taking away your privilege to drive. You are not allowed to drive at all. Do you understand? You will be signing an affidavit with me today, promising me you're not going to drive. And if I find that you do, I will have a contempt hearing. You'll be facing 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time your happy ass gets into a car and drives. Do you understand?
Sure.
I hope that you would understand that it's elementary that you're not supposed to have alcohol in the car. And now you're going to pay a very dear price, because I'm going to tell you, living in a city as big as Houston without the ability to drive really, really blows. And now, until I know that you absolutely appreciate the awesome privilege it is, because it's not a right, it's a privilege. If you drive, you'll be facing 6 months every time you drive. I'm also ordering you not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using any kind of alcohol or dope, likewise, you will go to jail. I'm not going to give you any more PR bonds. So if you go to jail, you'll be stuck like Chuck in there until this thing is over with, unless you have someone to bond you out. You understand? Okay. Yasha, until I know that he absolutely appreciates it, and I want some kind of proactivity to know. So until that point, no driving. That's it.
Okay.
So
Whatever I can do.
you also need to understand that having alcohol in the car, it's a minimum of 5 days in jail to any sentence that you get. 5 days flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No 2 for 1, no 3 for 1, no credit. Do you understand? All right. Sign this affidavit. After that, we'll get you to Victoria to sign a reset. After that, you'll get with Rachel for your bond conditions, and we'll put you on your way.
Okay, thank you,
Okay.
Judge.
All right, Judge, page 20. Wilson, come on up. Yes.
No just motion to sub today, huh?
Not today.
Wonderful. Good morning.
Good morning.
And who do we have here?
Marissa Wilson.
Good morning, Ms. Wilson. All right, Ms. Wilson, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you, ma'am.
On September 7th, 2024, officers observed defendant's vehicle traveling 35 miles per hour in a 60 miles per hour zone between 7400 and 8400 block of Katy Freeway in Harris County, Texas. Officers observed defendant also almost hit an 18-wheeler traveling to the defendant's right, and the defendant almost swerved into another passing vehicle. Officers observed the defendant's registration to be expired as of November 2020, and a traffic stop was initiated. Defendant came inches from hitting the freeway wall while exiting, and the officers made contact with the defendant, the driver, and sole occupant of the vehicle. Officers observed a strong odor of alcoholic beverage, glossy eyes, and slurred speech. Defendant stated she was going home and had 5 alcohol. And was 4 at 4. The defendant read the DIC and refused breath. Officers located a half-empty 750 milliliter Jägermeister in the defendant's vehicle. A blood search warrant was obtained and executed. The defendant was identified by her Texas driver's license.
Did you say initially, did I hear you that you said she had a suspended license?
She had a registration expiration.
That's what it was. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Where was the Jägermeister? Was it within reach that, so she's drinking while she's driving?
I'll check, Your Honor. Let me read the OR.
Yeah, take your time. While he's doing that, Miss Wilson, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using anything, I'm going to put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds, ma'am. You have a valid Texas driver license. You're not allowed to drive. And I want you to understand that I don't think anything makes me more upset than we have people driving like boneheads out there without a driver's license. And I'm going to tell you now, if I find that you drive, I will bring the wrath so hard that I'm going to sprout horns in the tail. That's how upset I'm going to be.
Your Honor, the OR just says inside the defendant's vehicle was a half-empty bottle of Jägermeister. It doesn't say where specifically.
Okay. Miss Wilson, you will be signing an affidavit with me today. I don't care what's going on in your life. I don't care if there's an emergency. There's nothing you can tell me that you can justify getting into a car and driving whatsoever. If you want a license, or if you want to drive, go get a license, get liability insurance, and then we can talk. But until that point, don't do it. I don't care how tempted you are. Let me ask you this. I asked you if you have a Texas driver license. Do you have a driver's license from anywhere else? Okay, then that's what all right. I'm gonna have you come up here, swear to us that you're not gonna drive. After that, I'll get you to Victoria. We'll have you sign a reset. You'll get with Rachel for your bond conditions, and then after that, you're free to go. No drinking. Don't drive. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Judge, page 1, Abbas.
We're going backwards. Abbas, come up.
I'm sorry, is it 12?
Good morning, Judge.
No, it's not. It's not. It most certainly is not. It's a morning. Good. I guess that's a matter of perspective. You tell me here in about 5 minutes if it's good. Mr. Abbas, you picked up a new case while you're on bond. You're now charged with interference to the duties of a public servant. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On September 9th, 2024, officers were dispatched to 3506 Fern River Drive on a call for stating that the defendant was banging on the door and refusing to leave. The defendant was sitting on the porch when the officers arrived, and the defendant stated he was arrested the other day for criminal trespass at this location, and he wanted his phone and keys back. The officer knocked on the door of the residence and did not get a reply. The officer told the defendant that he should not be at the residence, and the defendant began to walk away. Officers reached out to the complainant via cell phone, and the complainant and a witness came to the door. The complainant, the homeowner and mother-in-law of the defendant, stated she did not want the defendant on the property due to him being a drug addict. Officers returned to his shop and discovered that the defendant had returned to the scene. Officers detained the defendant and was given a trespass warning.
So let's go through the timeline. He picks up. Okay, so he picks up an interference and then a felony possession case, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Gets out of jail, it goes right back.
Yes, to the residence, yes.
Had we ordered him not to go back?
If you look at the bond conditions, Judge, let me see what was ordered.
I mean, regardless, he picked up a new case,
He did pick up a new case while I'm.
so. Guess what happens now that you picked up a new case? Want to take a guess?
I have no clue. I have no-
Take a guess. You should be able to hear it behind you. I am now revoking your bond and I'm taking you into custody.
Judge, I would like to say is that,
There's nothing you can say right now. You picked up a new case and I told you not to pick up a new case. So he goes with you. I'll appoint your lawyer now. You can tell the lawyer. It's not a good day though. Okay.
All right, Judge, page 5. Coe,
So 5,001 on the interference and then ixnay on the PR bond A, on the criminal trespass A. A. If they give him a PR bond. Let's see. Yeah, yeah, they give him a PR bond, so no dice on the PR bond. Shatoria, can you do me a solid? Set him up for T-Rans, please, on Abbas, please. Vic, what page?
this one is on page 5, top of page 5.
Thanks.
COH.
Kohea. Mr. Kohea, you're charged with reckless driving. You're facing up to 30 days in jail and or a $500 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
On September 5th, 2024, the officer observed the defendant's vehicle traveling at a high rate of speed, 89 miles per hour in a 65 mile per hour zone at 3900 block of East Sam Houston Tollway in Harris County, Texas. The officer observed the defendant's vehicle swerve through traffic to maintain high speed and move from lane 2 to lane 3 to lane 1 in a reckless manner without signal, causing other vehicles to brake. The defendant's vehicle came close to colliding with other vehicles while changing lanes when unsafe to do so. A traffic stop was initiated. Officers made contact with the defendant, the driver, and sole occupant of the vehicle. The defendant was ID'd with his Texas driver's license.
Mr. Kohea, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Do you have a valid Texas driver license? Do you have liability insurance in your name? I want proof before you leave here for today. Otherwise, I'm not going to let you drive. I'm making it a condition of your bond that you not participate in any more reckless driving, street takeovers, racing, boneheaded moves of this nature. Otherwise, the first thing I'm going to do is I will take away your privilege to drive. The second thing I'm going to do is I will put you in jail, just like I did this past person. Do you understand? Do you mind filing those conditions, please? Kohea. Kohea. C-O-H. No reckless driving and all that jazz. Reckless driving, racing, street takeovers, etc. For now, I'm going to have you go to Victoria I'm gonna have you sign a reset. After that, I'm gonna have you take a seat in the jury box while we wait for your lawyer to get here.
All right, Judge, next is page 5, Cormier.
So on this gentleman, it's Jason Johnson, his lawyer. So when Mr. Johnson gets here, I'd like to see if he has insurance. Otherwise,
Okay,
there's no
so-
driving affidavit. Yeah, hold on it. Mr. Cormier? Mr. Cormier, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. Oh, my goodness. He's charged with 2 FSRAs. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
On September 7th, 2024, officers were dispatched to an FSRA call at 1220 Brickmore Road in Harris County, Texas. Officers flagged down by a witness who pointed the officers in the direction of the defendant. The officers made contact with the defendant, who was trying to take items out of the trunk of his vehicle. The defendant stated that 2 cars hit him, that he turned off into a private drive due to a busy street, that he lost control and went into a ditch, and that the vehicle belonged to his mother. The defendant stated he was not drinking. The defendant later stated he had 1 16-ounce Bud Light, but that he was not drunk and he was good. Standard field sobriety tests were administered. HGN 4 out of 6, walk and turn 2 out of 8, and 1 leg stand 3 out of 4. Defendant was read DIC and consented to breath. Results were 0.148 and 0.131. Defendant was identified with his Texas driver's license. And officers made contact with the 3rd complainant. The complainant stated the defendant's vehicle came from a side street and the defendant struck his vehicle and the complainant complained of wrist pain. The damage to the 3rd complainant's vehicle was approximately $20,000. Officers made contact with another complainant. The 2nd complainant stated the defendant's vehicle took a U-turn, struck his vehicle, and the complainant complained of pelvic pain and head pain. The motor vehicle damage to this complainant's vehicle was approximately $30,000. The 3rd complainant, the 1st complainant's passenger, complained of rib pain.
See if you have any prior DWIs.
He has no prior DWI trauma.
Mr. Cormier, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Do you have a Texas driver license? Oh my God. Do you have, tell me you have liability insurance.
Our insurance policy just went up in August last month.
Do you have? If I send you now for a drug test, what's going to show up? I'm sending you now for a drug test. You must come right back. If you do not come back, your bonds now are, I'm in shock that your bonds are only $3,000 on your second, these are 2nd-degree felonies, right?
These are. Basic. 5 years.
Say it again.
Yeah, it's one of those hybrid felonies. It's got a punch range of up to 5 years. So I'm not quite saying.
I'm sending you now for a drug test. You must come right back, Mr. Cormier. If you do not come back, I'm going to set your bond at around 10 times what your felony bonds are at. Do you understand? At that point, we're going to go forward, but I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to drive. If I find that you drive and I will give a rat's behind what you're doing, I will have a contempt hearing. You'll be facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $500 fine every time you drive. Do you understand? I don't care what your excuse is. I don't care where you're going. I don't care if Jesus needs to ride to church. You drive, holy moly, I'm going to light you up like you've never seen before. I want him to go take a drug test right now, and then we'll have him come right back. I'm going to have you sign a reset. Hold on. Before he leaves, I'm going to have him sign this affidavit so I can hold his ass in contempt if he tries to drive. right, I'm gonna have you come up here, swear test that you're not gonna drive. I'm gonna have you sign a reset and go take a drug test.
One pair of pants later.
So are you, this is Mr. Cormier. This is the one where that we have at least, is it 3 people that were pretty badly injured, right? At least 2. Okay, Mr. Cormier, I don't want you out in the middle of the night. I'm now gonna put an ankle monitor on you so that I know that you're not out in the middle of the night. On one ankle, you're gonna get a monitor, so I know you're not, so I know that you're not consuming alcohol. On the other one, you're getting a GPS monitor, and I'm giving you a curfew of 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. If I find you out, I'm gonna lock you up and I'm gonna make your bond so very high, it's ridiculous. Do you understand? I will do everything in my power to protect every person of Harris County, and if that means locking you up at 100,000, I'll do it in a heartbeat. You understand? Do you work? When is the last time you've had a job? What were you doing?
Solar company.
Why did you lose your job?
Just HR problems. Problems with HR. About my performance and everything.
Okay, so it's time for you to get another job.
So
And now also making that a condition of your bond. I want to know that you're working, not out doing nothing. Too much time on your hands, you become self-destructive, and I'm not going to have it. So I'll appoint your lawyer today, Mr. Cormier, but I'm bringing you back in 2 weeks, and I want to know what you've done to get a job. If you've done nothing, it's just not going to go well between you and I. So take a hint. I'll have you sign, or he's already signed a reset with you. So for now, I'm going to have you sign your conditions with Rachel. After that, I'm going to have you take a seat in the jury box while I find your lawyer. All right.
All right, Judge, next is page 10. Kelly, come on up.
Good morning, Mr. Kelly. Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
On September 6, 2024, officers observed the defendant's vehicle run a red light near 25200 Interstate Highway 10 in Harris County, Texas. Traffic stop was initiated. The defendant's vehicle drove approximately a quarter mile before stopping. The defendant exited the driver's side of the vehicle, and the vehicle appeared to be in reverse as it moved backwards, almost striking the police vehicle. The defendant walked around to the front of his vehicle and began urinating. The defendant stated he was driving home from hanging out with friends, and the officer observed a strong odor of alcoholic beverage and slurred speech. The defendant stated he had taken oxycodone and Valium, which were prescribed to him for back surgery and injury. Standard field sobriety tests were administered. HGN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 2 out of 8. The one-leg stand was not completed due to D not understanding the instructions. Defendant was read DIC and consented to blood. Defendant stated he doesn't usually take pills because he passes out. Defendant was identified with his Texas driver's license.
So you said that the pills were because of back surgery?
Yes, I have a thin spinal
Defendant
cord.
told the officer they were prescribed for a back.
When was the back surgery? What year?
Last year, but I just recently had to go into Methodist Hospital in Baytown where I live at, and they prescribed me some because I have a thin, my spinal cord is thin in the back. I have prescriptions through Walgreens that can be pulled.
I get it, but those prescriptions can still be abused. And if you get in a car,
Oh, no,
you
it
fall asleep and get in a car, you on 59, 610, you kill someone.
The first time that I've been prescribed this.
I can't believe that they still prescribe that garbage, man. It's just it's so addicting. It's so addicting. I cannot believe with what all the pharmaceutics that they have today that they're still prescribing that stuff. No. My only thing, Mr. Kelly, is that I don't know if I want you taking it just because how easy it is to get addicted is on Oxy. It's so, I mean, 1 to 2 times you take the pill, that's it. I mean, you'll never stop.
Described it to me.
I don't care what they prescribe. They shouldn't be doing it. They stopped it. They've taken it completely off the market. They stopped making oxycodone. I don't know how to do this, Pavel. I don't know how to go forward on this. You know,
I'm not sure, Judge, because we can't really test like therapeutic doses. They'll just say if something's in their system, right? So even if we want him to just take therapeutic doses, it wouldn't be,
I want you to explore alternate methods other than Oxycontin.
Okay, well, that's what I was trying to explain, Judge. They put me on it. I was originally doing pain management and they had me on Norcos, hydrocodone. And they switched me from that when I went into Methodist Hospital recently with the back pain. They put me on that because the doctor said it was getting worse, but I only take a half a pill. I don't take a whole pill because as you can see, I'm a small guy. So any dose of medication.
It doesn't matter. I mean, of course it matters the quantity of the pill, but the problem is not, it's the pill in and of itself, because it's so terribly addicting that once you start taking it, it's so very difficult to get off. And the problem is that when the doctors stop prescribing it for you, you're going to do damn near anything to get your hands on it. And if that means, I mean, I've seen robbing drugstores. I've seen people do anything to get their hand. That's how addicting it is. It's absolutely nuts. And the amount of people since its inception that have died from Oxy, that's why the family that used to be worth billions of dollars, has now declared bankruptcy because they've gotten sued so many times. Oxy has now been discontinued as a production. They don't make it. So that's why I'm telling them prescribed that they're still, I'm just surprised that they're still, prescribing it because they shouldn't. There are other methods to deal with the pain other than that super addicting drug. And what do you do for a living, Mr. Kelly?
I'm disabled.
Do you have an income?
Yes, I do.
What is your income?
1,000 a month.
I'm going to appoint your lawyer today.
So my family's gonna hire one. My mother's here in court. She's already agreed to.
What do you mean your mother's still in court?
She's here in court. She's agreed to help me buy
Come up, ma'am. That's mom?
Yes. To pay for an attorney.
Thank you so very much for coming. This is great. Thank you so much for coming, man. It scares me what he's taking. It really, really scares me because the chance for abuse, it's 100%. They're so strong. They're so potent, the pills, that once you start taking it, it's like Pringles. You just can't stop, I mean, that's how incredibly addicting it is. And they stopped making it because of all the people that were dying because of the abuse that the people used to abuse it so bad that, I mean, they were dropping left and right. The problem is that you start taking it and you build up a crazy tolerance to it, right? So what you do, you keep taking it. And at some point you will put your lungs to sleep right? Not knowing it, you didn't intend it, but you put your body to sleep and you just never wake up because it's so powerful and you develop such a craving, such a madness to have it. You're just going to keep taking it. And you put yourself to sleep. I've seen it time and again, over and over and over. So this family that was worth billions is now bankrupt because that's how bad it is. And I don't know how to go forward because I want him to stop and I don't want him to take it. But at some point, I also want him to be able to deal with the pain and the management of that pain. But there's got to be another way.
He just recently went to Methodist Hospital because his blood pressure was high. And when the blood pressure go high, they know that he's in pain. So he has chronic pain, and when his blood pressure goes high, they know that he's in pain. He just recently went to Methodist. We live in Baytown. And he just recently went there. Actually, the night after he got out of jail.
We have to explore another way.
No, I have to.
I'm gonna test you like crazy. I'm telling you now. I'm going to test you like crazy. I see that you continue to take opiates.
Well, I haven't taken it since the night that I was arrested. I haven't taken it anymore.
So I can appoint you a lawyer today if you'd like me to do that, ma'am.
No, we don't get one.
Okay.
Bassey. That's his first name, Bassey. What's his last name?
No, that's fine. If you want, like I said, I'm willing to give you a free lawyer today, or you can go hire one. It's up to you guys. But Mr. Kelly, do you have a Texas driver license? Do you have a liability insurance in your name?
Yes, I do.
Okay, can you run his license, please, for me?
Yes, right.
He is eligible.
Okay.
And I have the.
I'm going to tell you, I don't know if I want you driving if you're taking Oxy. I'm going to tell you now because it scares me too much that you're going to abuse it and the same thing's going to happen that happened now. So if you're going to take it, I'm not going to let you drive.
We have to help one another because I'm actually living with him because I have. Sometimes I'm going to the doctor myself next week because I've been kind of forgetting and feel like I need help. So we helping one another. He helps me a lot. I don't cook anymore, so he helps me cook and we just kind of helping each other.
So, Mr. Kelly, I'm ordering you not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, unprescribed controlled medication. I want to know I'm going to put an ankle monitor on him so I know that he's not consuming alcohol, because if he's taking Oxy or taking any kind of painkillers like that, alcohol just makes it so crazy worse. I want to know at the minimum that you're not consuming alcohol. I'm going to put a monitor on your ankle so I know that you're not consuming. I'm going to pay for it for you, so it's nothing out of your pocket. But it scares me what you're doing. I'm telling you now, it scares me. And it scares me even more that you have access to a 4,000-pound projectile that if you fall asleep, you're going to kill someone. And that's what we don't want to happen. I don't want that blood on my hands. And it's just, Oxy is so powerful that even an eighth of a pill will intoxicate you. Get on finding a lawyer quick, because there's a lot of timing requirements with your license. Don't wait. If you are really going to hire a lawyer, you need to get on it quick. Don't wait, because you're only hurting yourself. Okay. Be careful. Like I said, there's got to be an alternate way, and I want to explore that. You have any questions, guys? Okay. Mr. Kelly, be careful. I'm not going to put up with it. I'm telling you now. If I test you and you're testing positive, it's only one thing's going to happen. Be careful. Okay, guys, I'm going to have you sign a reset with Victoria, and then I'm going to have you meet with Rachel, our pretrial services officer, and then you guys are free to go. Thanks. Are you Deshaun Lewis?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Lewis, you're charged with criminal mischief. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
On September 5th, 2024, officers were dispatched in reference to a disturbance of weapons at 906 North Victory Drive in Harris County, Texas. Officers made contact with the complaining witness, and the officer observed the complaining witness's vehicle had front windshield, rear window, front right window, front left window, 2 rear left windows, and 2 rear right windows broken. The complainant stated he was being accused of stealing something from the residence and that the defendant broke windows using a shovel. The damages to the vehicle were approximately $1,500. Officer made contact with the defendant. The defendant stated he got a phone call from his brother arguing and heard in the background with the complaining witness. The defendant stated he arrived at the residence and the complaining witness ran up to his truck with an iron pipe and busted 2 back windows. The defendant stated the complaining witness had broken windows on the brother's vehicle as well. The defendant stated he was angry, grabbed a shovel, and smashed the windows on the complainant's vehicle. The defendant was detained and ID'd with his Texas ID.
Mr. Lewis, are you on probation or parole at this time? Sir, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward on your criminal mischief. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming anything, I'm going to put you in jail. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm also ordering you not to have any contact with the complaining witnesses in this case and not to be in possession of weapons as well. You're incapable of staying out of trouble. Just incapable of staying out of trouble. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, and now case number 34. What do we need to do to get you to exercise self-control?
All right.
You have a job? Okay, that's why. You don't have shisa going on in your life. And as a result, you have way too much time on your hands. And so you become self-destructive. And what do? Just smoke weed all day? Is that all you do? Really? I'm sending you for a drug test now. You want to bet money on it? You ready to put some money on it? Or, I'm sorry, you want to put some jail on it? Really? You have way too much time on your hands, Mr. Lewis, and it's time for you to become a productive member of society. I am now making it a condition of your bond that you get a job. And I'm bringing you back here in 2 weeks to see what you have done to get a job. And if you've done nothing, life between you and me are not going to go well. And I'm just going to keep revoking your bond. And at some point, someone's going to stop ponying the money to get you out. But if it takes me to make your bond 50 to 100 to 150,000, I'll do it in a heartbeat, because I don't care who I offend. And I don't care if I make you mad. Do you understand? But it stops now. You had a prior BMV with me 2 years ago, or about a year ago. And I guess I didn't really get into the nitty gritty with you. I am now, and it stops now. And I'm going to tell you now. So 2 weeks to be back. If you have nothing and you've done nothing, get ready to say with me, Mr. Lewis. For now, I'm gonna have you meet with Rachel. You're ordered not to consume alcohol. And I'm gonna tell you now, I don't care if you test positive for weed, but 35 to 40 days from today, I will test you again. And if you test positive for marijuana, that's it. No, I'm not gonna drug test him now because I don't care. But I'll test him about 35 to 40 days. And if he tests positive at that point, in the clink. All right, Mr. Lewis, see you in 2 weeks.
Right this way.
Rach,
Page 12,
Rach,
Lizette.
no contact with complaining witness and no weapons as well. What's that?
Jared Webb. Oh, come on up. Page 18.
How you doing, Your Honor?
Sir, give me 1 second. I'm almost done. So Vic, this is for Mr. Dean. Once he signs this, at that point, they can go. Thank you. Okay, and what was your last name, sir?
Webb, W-E-B-B.
Page 18.
Got it. All right. Good morning, Mr. Webb. Sir, you're charged with criminal mischief. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
1324. Complainant watched surveillance and saw the defendant at approximately 2:38 open his gas tank and pour an unknown substance into the tank. The defendant crouched down next to the rear driver's side tire and struck the undercarriage with an unknown object. The defendant then leaves the complainant's driveway. The mechanics found a white crystal-like substance inside the gas tank of the complainant's vehicle. Furthermore, the mechanics found out that the complainant's brake line clips had been opened. In total, the complainant sustained approximately $1,053 in damages.
There's surveillance? Can we see that video?
You will.
Oh, awesome.
Now's not the time.
That just never happened, so.
Okay. Regardless.
That's cool. They got surveillance.
Mr. Webb, can you imagine? Because this accusation still stands against you. And I want you to consider one thing. I don't know if you did or not. I wasn't there. But the allegations are pretty bad, especially considering a brake line cut. Can you imagine? This dude gets on a freeway. He's driving at 75 miles an hour, gets in an accident.
Yeah, that never happened, though. That's all a lie.
Accusation that the manslaughter still goes against you?
I mean, not for a made-up story, but I understand.
The DAs, there's an adage, an old adage goes that the DAs, the district attorney's office, can indict a ham sandwich. Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah, they can do whatever they want.
Right. And then guess who's out a whole crap load of money? Hiring lawyers, going through bond conditions, just giving you a little. So, Mr. Webb, well, like I said, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with this person. This is just a mere probable cause hearing.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. I thought y'all were sentencing me today. I'm like,
no. Mr. Webb, probable cause is a very, very low standard.
Okay.
There's a difference between probable cause and beyond a reasonable doubt, right? A huge difference. So this is just a probable cause hearing to see if it goes forward. At that point, going forward, they're going to have to produce documentation to prove that it was you, in the county it was done, and in the manner that they say it was done.
Okay.
So, but you got to be patient because this stuff doesn't happen overnight. It takes time for them to get evidence. So just be patient. At that point, at some point, you'll get everything and you'll be able to see all the evidence that's being held against you.
Oh, awesome.
Regardless, you need a lawyer to represent you. So we're going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. In the interim, do not have any contact with this person. Don't go anywhere near where they live, where they work, and don't be in possession of any weapons. That's all I'm asking you to do. And don't pick up any new cases.
Okay.
As long as you can abide by these conditions, you and I will be fine.
All right.
Okay. So I'm going to have you sign a reset with Victoria. After that, I'm going to have you take a seat in the jury box. We get your bond condition. We'll have you sign it. And after that, you'll be free to go.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Webb, come on.
Right this way.
So no contact, no weapons, no going within 200 feet of where he lives, works. And all that jazz, please.
Judge, that was our last arraignment.
Okay.
On the last one, huh, Webb?
Yep.
It always happens to me.
All right, go ahead and have a seat in the jury box behind you.
Good morning, Mr. Jimenez. What happened to you?
I got ran over and shot.
Got run over?
Yeah, yes, sir.
How'd that happen?
I was at a party and everybody started shooting at themselves and I got caught at the wrong place, wrong time.
Everybody's shooting, and so everybody like takes off like rats. Boom.
Yeah, basically.
That's the wrong party to
Shooting
go
at each other.
in.
I was just at the wrong place, wrong time. It had nothing to do with me. I just ended up getting shot and ran over.
Wait, you got shot too?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Where'd you get shot?
In the leg.
You're lucky to be alive, man.
Yeah, I know.
I wouldn't go back to these parties.
Yeah,
That's
yes,
what's
sir.
gonna happen, you know?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Jimenez, you're charged with criminal trespass. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You guys have worked out an agreement. They're offering you 3 days in jail, credit for the 11 days that you've done. Understand this charge will go on your record. It's going to be there for the rest of your life. You can never take it off. You also need to understand from now on, you're facing up to 30 days in jail. Or, I'm sorry, you're facing a minimum of 30 days in jail for any new cases that you pick up. You understand?
Sure.
You want to do this still?
Sure.
You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty, you can never change this or undo this. You understand?
Sure.
All right. How do you plead, sir?
Guilty.
I'll find you guilty. I'll sentence you to it. Good luck. Thank you, Alan. Take care.
All right, Judge, page 9. An arraignment and a VDR.
Jordan Green, come up. You tell me in about 5 minutes if it's good. It's a morning, but I don't know if it's good. You tell me in 5 minutes if it's good. Mr. Green, you now stand charged with a new case. You were on bond for driving while intoxicated. You now have picked up interference with emergency request for assistance, and that is a Class A misdemeanor. You're facing now a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On September 6, 2024, in Harris County, Texas, at 8506 West Highlands Crossing, officer was dispatched to a residence where he spoke to the complaining witness, the father of the defendant. Complaining witness stated the defendant had a verbal argument with him about not being able to speak a different language. Complaining witness stated the argument began to escalate and he wanted to call the police. Complaining witness stated the defendant grabbed his cell phone, stopping him from calling the police. Complaining witness had to drive his vehicle to the fire station approximately half a mile to call for law enforcement.
All this because who wanted to speak a different language?
Said the defendant wanted to speak a different language, I believe, with the complaining witness.
I don't think I've heard something as silly as this in a long time. Mr. Green, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Guess what happens now? Guess. Let me ask you this, Mr. Green. Is it a good morning? Nope. All I asked you to do is stay out of trouble. You've now picked up a new case. So I'm revoking your bond on the DWI and I'm keeping you with me. It goes with you.
I'm approaching Jordan Green, and he just got revoked. So Pavel just did the rip because Dad is here. My client was recently diagnosed with bipolar earlier this week, and the state said they're going to
Come up, Dad. Your dad? Your dad, come on up. Or Step. Are you the real father? Step? What's the relation?
I'm dad.
You wrote a biological father. Okay, great.
And he recently got out of the National Guard.
Oh, wow. So it's just going downhill.
So they talked to dad. They talked everything out. My client and his father have talked everything out, and they're in a good place. But the office reports reevaluate in light of the information.
Don't I remember something in you saying something that he has drug issues?
Don't believe I don't see anything in the summary.
So what we do, is it Mr. Green? Mr. Green, what we do is we admonish everyone here. When you pick up a case, be good. Don't do anything to violate conditions whatsoever, because if you do, we put you in jail, right? And he, not, 1 month has passed, less than he picked up a new case. So we have now, I put him in jail.
I understand, but he's a good kid and never had no problem until when he got out.
Something is going on with Mr. Green, though.
We just came from the doctor Wednesday. I think it was that the 10th or something like that. They diagnosed him with bipolar. So
Is he self-medicating with other issues, with other things?
I think he smoked weed.
Ron, the DWI is charged as a DWI with weed or THC.
Okay, no, but in the interference case, didn't you say something that there was, or am I thinking of someone else?
Maybe, Judge, but this PC statement didn't involve, this was an argument over language.
Right, oh, okay, all right. One second. I want him to understand that we mean business and that he cannot just continue to run amok without there being any kind of consequence. He picked up a really serious charge. This is a Class A. He's facing a year in jail. What I can do is I can make you a plan that I want him to understand that we mean business. And what I can do is I can keep him over the weekend. Early next week, we can release him to your custody if you want. Yeah.
How would he get his medication?
They have doctors in the jail, and we can have him either sent to medical so that they can have him evaluated there as well. But if I just let him out now, then it's basically enabling him and telling him it's okay to continue to do. And it's not. You just can't continue to pick up cases.
There's no bond on that thing.
No, their bonds are set. There are bonds that are set. And if you want to, you can bond him out. But I'm telling you now, if you come to me on Monday, one of the worst parts about being in jail, there's no clocks, there's no windows, everybody smells like holy hell. It's a miserable experience. And when you don't have an expected release date, that really has something to do with your psyche. It really does something to you. If you know that you're going to get out at a certain point, all you're doing is you're wishing, you're hoping. But if you don't have that expected release date, it really plays a number on you.
Last time he was they say you don't want to go back. So
right. But he didn't get it. So hopefully now, if he doesn't know that he's going to get out, he will truly understand that we mean business. And that's what I'm trying to impart to you is that if you go back there and tell him I'm going to let him out Monday or Tuesday, then it's not going to be the same thing as if he knows that there's no expected release date. But if you come to me on Monday, I'll release him to you.
just come back in Monday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell me about where he's living though now. Is he living with you? What is he doing?
Yeah, he's living with us.
Okay.
He's
Is he
living with us from Boston.
is he working? What's going on with his life?
He had a job at the hospital, and I guess because of his whatever, like his temper or whatever, he got fired.
Did he graduate from high school? He did graduate from high school, right? And I guess, is the National Guard still open and he's still in it as
far as I know, yeah.
Okay. We'll roll this case over to Monday. Okay. what I want him to see is, when we bring people out in orange and dad is standing next to them, it really plays a big part in it as well. And what I'm going to do is I will let him know at that point that I'm going to release him to you and that you're basically staying on top of him, and one false move, again, it's going to happen right back where he's going to go back. And this time I'm not going to let him out, and hopefully he'll get the message. But there has to be some consequence. It just can't. Stephen, on Mr. Green, he's taking.
His dad had informed me I was gonna put it in the notes, in the booking notes, if
Okay.
that's the way we're going.
Great. So that way that we're going to get into medical. So he's not going to just be thrown into general population and just be forgotten about. We'll take care of him, but he still has, I want him to understand that we mean business, that we're not here to play around. Okay. So great. We'll see you Monday. Same place. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we start here early, so I'll be here at 8:45 Monday and go from there.
Monday. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much for coming, Mr. Green.
All right.
Surprise bonus clip. Surprise bonus clip. Surprise bonus clip. Surprise bonus clip.
The gentleman at the Greenwood County Jail, your name, please?
That is Mr. Lucci, Judge.
James Lucci.
Yep.
Lucci?
Lucci, ma'am, yes.
Lucci. We are on the record in 2024, CR 134, State of Kansas versus James A. Lucci. Please announce appearances.
May it please the court, the state appears by Joe Gillette, County Attorney.
Richard Paul on behalf of the defendant who appears in person and in custody in the Greenwood County Jail.
How does
Judge,
he wish to proceed?
Judge, this is another one of those drug cases. There's quite a bit of different substances. There's just the one felony. To be honest with you, Judge, I can't remember if they did a lab or not.
There's field tests.
There's a field test. Okay, Judge, here's what I would like to do with him. I would like to set this at the soonest PHC docket. I need to go out and talk with him some more about the case. Judge, he is not a Kansas resident. I believe that his bond is set at 10,000 cash or surety. He obviously cannot meet that because he's still in custody. I know that you want him on the hook with the bondsman for that. So, Judge, I would ask for a $1,000 cash or surety so he can get out.
Where's he from?
Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Yeah, he's from New Mexico, Your Honor.
Is he a co-defendant to that lady that was just here?
No.
No.
He is the sole defendant, Your Honor. And I would advise the court, I believe he's been in custody since July 15th.
Probably so.
So
Well, it's distribution.
he's looking at a level 4 judge, and reviewing his criminal history. I mean, even if he's convicted on the top count, I believe he'd be a border box finding.
Okay, he's got distribution of meth is only a level 4.
Based on the weight, Judge, yes. That's what they have charged it as.
Does he work? Does he have a job when he's not in custody?
Yes, in New Mexico, yes.
What kind of work?
Yeah, it's in Alamogordo, New Mexico.
What do you do there?
I work for a nursery plus it's called Davis Ranch and Farms.
Okay. Miss Gillette, your response to this request for reduction to 1,000 OR?
No, I'm not asking for an OR.
Oh, what did you ask for?
I asked for 1,000 cash or surety since he's
All
out.
right.
So he's on the, you'd have to come up with $100.
Okay, Miss Gillette?
Judge, we lowered the bond to 10,000 cash surety at his first appearance to give him a chance to bond out. And we had it set at 10,000 because of the out-of-state issue. Because the cost to bring him back will be somewhere around 2,000 to 2,500. So if he doesn't come back, we're looking at a significant amount to have to transport him back. So sometimes they're up to 3,000. So that's one of the reasons I was more agreeable to a 10,000 cash surety versus something lower than that.
I'm gonna leave the bond at 10,000 right now. That seems appropriate.
Judge, ma'am,
Yes?
if it's at all possible, I'd really like to get OR because I've had some incidences here that I can't stay here in custody. I was doing and serving the time that I had up to this time, 5 days ago, I had an incident to where I can't be in this jail anymore. It was verbally and mentally and physically abusive.
Deputy,
towards
are
me.
you aware of what he's talking about?
Yes, Judge.
Is it possible he could be traded with Elk County or something of that sort, or Butler?
We can talk to the sheriff about it or the undersheriff. Currently, we pulled him out. He's in the trustee room now, so he's not in the back anymore.
So you feel he is in jeopardy in the jail,
Not in the trustee room,
but in population perhaps?
perhaps.
Judge, for that reason, that's what, I mean, I didn't know the extent of the difficulties. So that's one of the reasons I was asking for a lower. That is a good reason to lower the bond.
Yeah, but they could also put him in a different facility, but I don't know if he'd get into the same issues there. I'll reduce it to 7,500. And if there's nothing further, we'll be in recess at this time.
What's the next court date, Your Honor?
Oh, Missy, when is the next court date?
I'd like the soonest PHC on this one, Missy.
Well, the next one we have is the October 25th.
Okay, then that's the soonest.
All right, we'll see you back here by Zoom, October 25th at 1:30 p.m.
James, I'll be out to see you soon, okay?
Okay, that's if I'm still here. If I bond out, can leave the state, or what's going on with that? I don't know.
If you bond out, you should be able to leave the state.
And I'll contact you within.
Contact me. You have letters from me, so you just contact me if you bond out, okay, sir?
Okay, yeah, no problem.
And if they transfer you anywhere, if you can't bond out, I'm sure they'll let me know, okay?
Okay.
All right.
And also you can appear by Zoom if you bond out.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. You may go, sir.
Good luck, James.
Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you have a full show for your Wednesday pleasures, court watching pleasures. I'm done here, but that doesn't mean we are done as a team, as a group, as a court watching community. We have another place to go, and that is to Collins' live stream that is about to happen right now. I'm redirecting directly to it. If you want to, you can go directly there yourself. I actually should have had the link ready for you so I could just post it here, but I'm just gonna end the stream and we're gonna go directly there. We're doing this every Saturday. Come back here and join me again next Saturday, same Wolf time, same Wolf channel. If you want to see some Judge Manning, she was not in court at all this week, but I am going to dig something up from the archives and we're going to have a Manning Monday, whether we like it or not. Ladies and gentlemen, join me at 7 o'clock Monday evening for Manic Monday with Judge Manning, and I'll see you all in Colin's chat. Later.